Pull up chat. Did it work? Okay, wait, where did the chat box go? There's the chat box. Okay, one more thingy, and then we're so fucking ready. Let me post. There we go. Yeah, we're gonna start our read. I think we're at 79. So I don't think we are gonna be JT. Hello, JT. So I think we're almost. I think we're a little bit more way than half through on the book. Wait up, guys. We are gonna. Ugh. I wish I can just like post everything at once. Like there probably is a website for that where I just literally have to like combine my fucking account or some shit like that. I saw the sign. I Okay, here we go. We're gonna start. Did it open? It should. Yo, Josh Figgle, what's up, Brody? We're gonna start the read. How are you doing, Josh Figgle? Let's fucking go. We have the goat himself. The Josh Figgle, the one and only. Okay, guys. So what the fuck letter is this? Wait, LXX 83? Wait, let me look this up on Google. I don't know no Roman numerals like that, so we're going on Google to look up what the fuck LXX 3 is. LXXXII in Roman numerals. I'm well, how are you? I've been doing awesome. Have you still been playing IDV? I kind of like dropped off from IDV. It was 82, I was right. Oh no, it's 83. Now IDV has kind of been slacking. IMO. Okay, so what the fuck? Adobe close. Where the fuck is this shit at? Okay. Here we go, guys. Letter 83. You demand an account of my days, generally as well as individually. You think well of me if you suppose that there is nothing in them for me to hide, and we should indeed live as if we were in public view, and think too as if someone could peer into the inmost recesses of our heart, which someone can. Okay. If we're in public view, which someone can. All right, which someone can. For what is to be gained if something is concealed from man when nothing is bared from God? He is present in our minds, in attendance in the midst of our thoughts. Although by attendance I do not mean to suggest that he is not at times absent from our thoughts. I shall do as you say then, and gladly give you a record of what I do, and in what order. I shall put myself under observation straight away, and undertake a review of my day, a course which is of the utmost benefit. What really ruins our character is the fact that none of us look back over his life. We think about what we are going to do and only rarely of that, and fail to think about what we have done. Yet any plans for the future are dependent on the past. Today has been unbroken. No one has robbed me of any part of it. It has been wholly divided between my bed and my reading. A very small part of it has been given over to physical exercise. Yeah, I haven't played it a lot recently, but I got on last night. It was fun. I heard the new game mode was pretty cool. This is funny. I'm going to save this. A very small part of my life has been given to physical exercise, and on this account, I'm grateful for old age. For the exercise cost me a little trouble. I only have to stir and I'm weary. And then after all, is the end of exercise even for the strongest? Interested in having my trainers? One's enough for me. Farius, a likable young fellow as you know, but he's due for a change. I'm losing now for someone rather more youthful. He is he in fact declares that we're both at the same climasteric climasteric since we're both losing our teeth, but I've reached the stage where I can only keep up with him with difficulty. When we're out for a run and before many days are out, I won't be able to keep up with him at all. See what daily exercise does for one. When two people are going in opposite directions, there's soon a big distance between them. He's coming up in the same at the same time as I'm going downwards. And you know how much quicker travel is in the second of these directions? But I'm wrong. The age I'm at isn't one that is going downwards. It's one that's in headlong descent. However, you like to hear how today's race ended? Well, we made it a tie, something that doesn't often happen with runners. After this, more a spell of exhaustion than of exercise, I had a cold plunge, cold with me, meaning just short of warm. Here I am, once celebrated as a devotee of cold baths, regularly paying my respects to the canal on the first. Seneca may have specifically meant the canal that ran through the Campus Martis to the northwest of the city near the river Tiber. Tiber? Of January, and jumping into the maiden pool is just the same way as I read, wrote, and spoke. Wait. On January and jumping into the maiden pool in just the same way as I read, wrote, and spoke, some sentence or other, every new year in order to ensure good luck in the coming years. And now I've shifted my scene of operations first to the Tiber, then to my own pool here, which even when I'm feeling my heartiest and don't cheat, has had the chill taken off it by the sun. It's a short step to a hot bath. The next thing is breakfast, which consists of some dry bread, no table laid, and no need to wash the hands after such a meal. I then have the briefest of naps. You know this habit of mine, of dropping off for a moment or two, just slipping off the harness, as you might say. I find it enough to have simply stopped being awake. Sometimes I know I've been asleep, sometimes merely guess I have been. Zeno was a very great man, as well as the founder of our Stoic school, a school with an unequaled record for courageous sanity, saintly living. Well, listen to the way in which, desiring to deter us from drunkenness, he deduces the principle that the good man won't get drunk. No person who is drunk, he says, is entrusted with a secret. The good man is entrusted with a secret, therefore the good man will not get drunk. Watch how ridiculous he's made it look when. Let me find this. He deduces, so won't get drunk. Probably the Virgo aqueduct built by Marcus Agrippa to supply the baths he built on the Campus Martis. The restored aqueduct now feeds the Trevi fountain. Campbell omits about 85 lines of this letter in total, and the points indicated by ellipses as not of interest or repeating thoughts expressed elsewhere. We counter with a single syllogism on the same pattern. Of the many we could advance, it's sufficient. Wait up, sorry. We encounter with a single syllogism on the same pattern. Of the many we could advance, it's sufficient to instance one. No person who is asleep is entrusted with a secret. The good man is entrusted with a secret, therefore the good man does not go to sleep. Now just let each of us name for himself the people he knows can be trusted with a secret, though they can't be trusted with a bottle. I'll give all the same one solitary example myself, just to prevent its being lost to human memory. Life needs to stock of noteworthy examples, nor need we always go running to antiquity for them. Lucilius Piso was drunk from the very moment of his appointment as warden of the city of Rome. He regularly spent most of the night wining and dining in company, and slept from then until around midday noon. To him, being early morning, he nevertheless discharged his duties, which embraced the general welfare of the whole city, with the utmost efficiency. The late Emperor Augustus, as well as Tiberius, entrusted him with secret orders, The former on appointing him governor of Thrace, the conquest of which he completed. The letter when he left Rome for Campania, leaving behind him in the capital many objects of distrust and hostility. I imagine it was because Piso's drunken habits had been such a success so far, as he was concerned that Tiberius' letters opposed Cosus to be perfect of the city. This, yo, what's up, Osh? Literally, Urbius Custos, an alternative term for Prefectus Urbi, the official in charge of administration for the city of Rome itself. Perhaps non coincidentally, Piso was reportedly an adherent of Epicurism. Epicurus. We love Epicurus. Epicurus is the goat. They dick suck a lot of his quotes. What? That's your username. Osh. Osh. Either way, you can't. It's the same thing. No Osh, Osh, Ish, Ich liebe dich. Those who know German. Ich liebe dich. Man, otherwise dignified, the self-controlled steeped himself in liquor, soaking it up to such an extent that on one occasion in the Senate, having come there straight from a party, he succumbed to a slumber from which nothing could rouse him, and had to be carried out. Yet this did not stop Tiberius writing in his own hand a number of letters to Cosus, the context of which he did not consider suitable for communication even to his ministers, and Chorus never let slip a single secret, whether private or official. If you want to arrive at the conclusion that the good man ought not get drunk, why set about it with syllogisms? Tell people how disgusting it is for a man to pump more into himself than he can hold, and not to know the capacity of his own stomach. That's actually a pretty good one. Ish Heisa Josh? What the fuck does that mean? Is that my name? Hi, I'm Josh. Ish Libidish, I love you. Is that I hate Josh? I don't know what Hisa is. What up? Tell people how disgusting it is for a man. His own stomach. Tell them all the things men do that they would blush at sober, and the drunkenness is nothing but a state of self-induced insanity. For imagine the drunken man's behavior extended over several days. Would you hesitate to think him out of his mind? As it is, the difference is simply one of duration, not of degree. Point to the example of Alexander of Macedon, stabbing his dearest and truest friend Clitus? It sounds like clitoris, at a banquet and wanting to die, as indeed he should have done. When he realized the enormity of what he had done, drunkenness inflames and lays bare every vice, removing the reserve that acts as a check on impulses to wrong behavior. For people abstain from forbidden things far more often through feelings of an inhibition when it comes to doing what is wrong than thought any will to go. Wait, wrong than though any will to good. Add to this the drunkard's ignorance of his. Yo, we're gonna play IDV soon. Brought and Casa? What the fuck are we talking about? Anyone want to play IDV after this last page? We're on one last page. And then we can play IDV tonight. Let's read this last page. Situation: his indistinct, uncertain speech, his inability to walk straight, his unsteady eye and swimming head, with his very home in a state of motion, as if the whole house had been set spinning by some cyclone, and the tortures in his stomach as the wine ferments. Where is the glory in mere capacity, when the victory rests with you? Then all the company lie prostrate around you, slumbering or vomiting, declaring or declining all your calls for another toast. When you find yourself the only person at the party, still on your feet, when your mighty prowess has enabled you to be all comes, and no one has proved able to match your intake, a barrel is none the less enough to beat you. What else was it but drinking to excess together with a passion for Cleopatra itself, as potent as drink, that ruined the great and gifted man Mark Antony, dragging him down into foreign ways of living and un-Roman vices? This is what This is this is this it wait this it was that made him an enemy of the state. This is what made him no match for his enemies. It was this that made him cruel, having the heads of his country leading men brought to into him at the dinner table, identifying the hands and features of liquidated opponents in the course of banquets marked by sumptuous magnificence and regal pomp, still thirsting for blood, when filled to the full with wine. Explain then why the good man should avoid getting drunk, using facts, not words, to show its unwillingness and offensiveness. Prove, and an easy talk it is, that so called pleasures, when they go beyond a certain limit, are but punishments. Okay, we're done with this letter. So who wants to play IDV, guys? Who's down? I got a new life. You can hardly recognize me. I'm so bad. And stream on YouTube. We are done with you.